Greetings, my happy little students. This is Mrs. Torrey. We're going to have a quick mini lesson on waves. Before that, I do want to say how much I miss you, but it's nice to know nothing ever changes. I mean, everything. In fact, here, let me get this turned around. See, I mean, look, everything's the same. It's still me. I miss you so much. I'm still drinking Monster. Nothing has changed. Everything is just the way it was. Now, back to waves. Here's how we do it. So, first of all, you've already learned that an analog wave is going to be this right here. So, that's a real sound. That's what you hear, that's what you see. The waves are everywhere. You can see it if it's in the visible light range. You can hear it if the sound wave is in your range. Some of the issues with having analog is it degrades. As it travels through air or through mediums, over distance, it changes. Sometimes you can't hear it, it degrades. So they tried putting it on tape. Well, tape is pretty good also. The only problem is if you make a copy of the wave on tape, every time you play it, the tape stretches a little bit, the tape can degrade, it can wear out, so that doesn't work great. They tried sending waves over solids to extend their reach. We call those wires. But again, as it travels over wires and has connections and converters, slowly but surely it degrades. So even though a wave starts out way over here really well, by the time it gets over here where your brain turns it into an image or a sound, it can be a mess. So it's like, gosh darn, if only there was a better way. So what they came up with was, what if we chunk it up? What if we cut it, see those little cuts? And we turn it into code, into computer code. And the computer code represents that part of the wave. So you see here a binary code that kind of reflects the wave. The problem is it's not very accurate. That's going to be your old 8-bit video games. So they thought, okay, well, what if we cut it into smaller chunks? So this is where you have to put up with me because I'm trying to copy and write at the same time. So let's say we cut this into three. So we took thinner slices of this wave up here. And now we can change it a little bit. So we'll go over here, we'll say, okay, so this one really now looks more like this. And this looks more like this. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And now you're going, hey, you know what? That actually kind of looks more like the wave that's above it. By having more samples, more bits, it's closer to recreating the wave. So now you got your 16-bit game. Well, they've learned to take tinier and tinier samples, little slivers of samples. And by the time you start cutting up all of these, and start making them actually reflect the waves, you're going to end up with something that all of a sudden does in fact recreate the wave really accurately. There goes your high definition. But all of this is stored as data. And instead of your brain just unscrambling it at the end and turning it into something, you know, your brain can understand, a computer does it for you. A computer will take all of those little bits of coding and convert them back either into an image or it can convert it back into a sound, or even cooler on a computer, just into data, into information. Because all those little samples don't degrade. I mean, it's just code. It sits in a computer. You can email it to somebody, it can travel thousands of miles, and when you open it up and push play, it's exactly the same as the first time you heard it. The movie will be the same. The image will be the same. So it doesn't degrade. And as long as you've got lots and lots of samples, it's pretty much the same. And what's even cooler is you can encode it. So when it gets to the end, when it's over here and it's been delivered to somebody, before your computer can turn into something you understand, if necessary, you can have it encrypted, and you need a special program that only you have that turns it into something usable. So it becomes secure. So that's why we're all, go digital over analog, because it doesn't degrade. It can store much smaller. It can be transmitted over large surface, large distances. It's just a win all the way around. So, anyways, so this was great, and I will be seeing you later.